everyone. Welcome back to Ghosting with Anya. I'm your host, Anya Smith, also the author of Anya's Ghost Stories Volume 1 and Volume 2, The Return of the Dead. So on today's episode, we are doing The Bridesmaid on the Back Stairs. This is something to do with the spirit of a bride, I guess, on episode 167, which is tonight. So, but this morning was okay. Fearless and I took his client to the doctor's appointment. Then we went to the barber shop. Fearless got his haircut and then went out to lunch. So I came home early. That way I can spend more time with my husband and with our cat. So anyway, I hope you guys are ready for the new story. Some ghost stories can relate to a bunch of real life events, especially with the brides, like on Ghost Whisperer. If you ever watched Ghost Whisperer, there's one weird episode where a spirit of a bride who appeared and haunts her former husband or whatever, but tells the story to Melinda what really happened that night, the night she was murdered. So she was trying to protect another bride that could end up dead just like her. Depends whoever this bride was. So there is a show called Ghost Whisperer where a lot of spirits can't talk to the dead by themselves because the living cannot see or hear the dead. The only person who could was Melinda Gordon and her grandmother. So I'll have to rewatch that and, see what happens with all these dead people. But yeah, anyway, I hope you guys are ready for the new stories. So are you brave enough to get all these stories read? Are you brave enough to get all the details and stuff? So, well, anyway, I hope you are brave enough. So today we will be reading the new story called The Bridesmaid on the Back Stairs. Something to do with spirits who wore wedding dresses. So it's already 8 p.m. So we are live streaming right now. What did you all do today? Did you guys have a wonderful day? Have anything new going on? Father's Day is coming up, so it's actually about a week away. So actually it's coming up soon, like on a Sunday. Today is the 17th, I think. Let me see. Yes, today is June 17th, and Father's Day is about 4 days away. So get ready. And I hope that this story can give you more excitement or whatever. So anyway, let's get started. But before I do that, thank you guys for supporting my channel. Thank you guys for subscribing. So if you guys want to chat with me, you can just join me right here on live stream. You can leave me comments down below if you wish as well. Anyway, let's get started on the story. So just sit back, relax. Please click like, share, and subscribe. And let's go with the story now. Nora agreed to coordinate the wedding at Ashcombe, I think, house because the pay was excellent and because old estates, in her experience, were mostly expensive logistics disguised as romance. The house hosted events precisely because it looked timeless in photographs. Sweeping lawn, white columns, chandeliers, and a grand staircase made for entrances. What the website did not advertise was the narrow back staircase because the service corridor, a steep wooden run staff used to avoid carrying supplies through the normal rooms. Nora liked that stairwell better than the public spaces because it felt practical, stripped up performance on setup day, while florists argued over centerpieces and the caterer misplaced half the glassware. Nora used those back stairs constantly. The first time she saw the bridesmaid, she assumed some guest had arrived early and gotten lost. The woman stood halfway up the steps in a pale dress with one hand on the rail, head turned as though listening for her name downstairs. Maybe Nora thought this might have been the bridesmaid or someone else. Maybe it's just a guest, I guess. Thinking maybe she would, I don't know, maybe her name was called, or she's the bride, maybe. We'll have to find out. So, if you think this might be relatable to any stories like that, please let me know in the comments down below. Let's continue on the story. It's going to be really exciting and freaky at the same time. Nora called out, asking if she needed help finding the bridal suite. The woman did not answer. She only took one step upward, and the fabric of her dress made a dry, soft sound that did not match the modern silk dresses hanging upstairs by the time Nora reached the landing. The stairwell was empty. She checked the service hall, the powder room, and the upstairs corridor. No one. It should have ended there as an odd visual mistake brought on by stress. But 30 minutes later, one of the servers came to her pale and unsettled, asking whether one of the bridal party was supposed to be wandering near the kitchen in an old-timey gown. An hour after that, the florist swore a woman in pale blue had brushed past her on the back stairs, carrying a bouquet of white roses no one in the current wedding had ordered. The sightings were too consistent, too ignore, and too absurd to include in vendor group texts. I'm guessing it's the spirit of this bride in blue, perhaps maybe holding a white bouquet of flowers, something like that. I don't really know who this woman is, but I guess we'll have to find out when we continue on reading the story. So if this makes any scarier ways, all you gotta do is leave me a comment down below. So the estate's caretaker, Mrs. Belden, responded to Nora's questions with the controlled patience of someone who had hoped this particular weekend would pass quietly. She explained that decades earlier, Ashcombe hosted a summer wedding that ended in scandal before vows were spoken. Details varied depending on who told the story, but one point remained fixed. One of the bridesmaids discovered just before the ceremony that the groom had been carrying on a separate promise with someone else. In some versions, she meant to warn the bride. In others, she meant to stop the wedding. Outright, whatever her intent, she was last seen rushing up the back staircase with flowers in hand and was later found at the bottom after a fall no one fully explained. The wedding collapsed. The house, Mrs. Belden said, still became nervous. When brides arrived, Nora found that phrasing almost worse than the story. I'm guessing that this, bridesmaid somehow died from falling down the stairs, broke her neck, didn't know what was happening. Perhaps maybe she thought she was the bride. I guess she died or someone pushed her. We don't really know. Like decades before anything else. It was like, we don't know what year it happened, but I guess we'll have to find out more as we are reading the story. So if you guys know anything about it, if this actually happened in real life, let me know in the comments down below. By evening, Nora had too much work to indulge haunting theories, but the house refused to stay in the background. A tray of champagne flutes left at the top of the back stairs appeared moments later at the bottom landing. Perfectly arranged, a ribbon on the bridal bouquet was retied in a knot style no one on staff used. Once while checking table cards in the ballroom, Noah heard the unmistakable sound of quick feet descending the service stairs and then stopping abruptly at the third step from the bottom, as if remembering too late. What came next, the current bride, Emily, remained blissfully unaware until rehearsal dinner ended, and she asked, half laughing, why an extra bridesmaid kept appearing in mirror reflections behind her. Nora told her it was stress. Emily accepted that answer because happy people are often the easiest to protect with partial truth. I'm guessing that Nora did not want to tell Emily that the house was haunted by the previous bridesmaid, I guess. And she's just too afraid to tell the actual bride that something terrible must have happened decades before Emily was even born. So I guess we'll have to find out even more about it. It's given me all the creeps, but an excitement. I mean, if Chris and I, we're having a small ceremony anyway, even though we always call each other's husband and wife, because we actually have not got married for reals because of the medical stuff and Social Security stuff. So this is why we're doing it in a small ceremony ways, I guess. I don't know, City Hall maybe, I think.
Yes.
Probably we might. So, but anyway, this could be the reason why a lot of brides don't know what's happening. Even they don't know that they're being haunted by something creepy and tragic, sad ways. Anyway, let's continue on the story. So, the real crisis came an hour before the ceremony. The next day, Emily's maid of honor bursts into tears after discovering messages on the groom's phone that suggested not current infidelity, but the recent concealment of something equally wedding threatening a private, unresolved engagement to another woman that had ended only weeks before chaos bloomed instantly in the bridal suite. Emily wanted proof. The groom wanted time. Families began positioning themselves into camps before facts had settled. Nora, who had coordinated enough weddings to know which failures remain fixable and which only postponed disasters, tried to keep the hallway clear while the house seemed to vibrate with old memory. Then from the service corridor came the sound of roses hitting wood, one bloom at a time. Nora turned toward the back stairs and saw the pale bridesmaid standing on the landing, bouquet in hand, looking directly at her with an expression not of fear but fierce insistence. I'm guessing that this bridesmaid wanted Nora to know what was really happening. Maybe she wanted to tell Nora what really happened to her when she died decades ago. Like literally, we would want to know who really this woman was. So, if you guys know any of this could happen, if this makes any sense to you all, please leave me a comment down below.
Also comes in chocolate. What do you think? Japan
So,
fine. When you in Japan,
all right, let's continue on the story. Without fully understanding why Noah followed, the apparition moved upward rather than down this time. Step by step, and paused at the small linen landing where a narrow window overlooked the front drive. There she turned and held out the bouquet. Nora did not take it. There was nothing physically there to take. But when she looked down and saw petals scattered on the floorboards, spelling No clear message, only a direction toward the small writing desk built into the wall alcove by the service hall. Nora opened the drawer and found shoved behind a stack of seating charts from past events and old folded notes sealed and crackled blue wax the paper inside, written in a hurried feminine hand, described discovering the groom's deceit and begging whoever found the letter to stop the ceremony before another woman is expected to smile over a lie. It was unsigned, but the date matched the old scandal almost exactly. The bridesmaid beside Nora faded the moment the note was opened. This is the so tragic death of this bridesmaid. Maybe she was the bride, but you never know. Perhaps maybe something bad happened to her. Maybe she found out what really going on, what really happened with the groom's cheating lie thing. But I guess maybe if she found those things, perhaps maybe the groom did something. Maybe he found her with all these notes, bouquets, and all the shit, all the lies or whatever. Maybe the groom didn't want her to find out because he was afraid what would happen. Like caught cheating, caught lying. Perhaps the groom didn't want that, so maybe he decided to kill her. Maybe he killed her for no reason at all. So, anyway, let's continue on the story. The letter did not directly solve Emily's present problem, but it changed the moral temperature of the room. Faced with a century-old echo of the exact same betrayal, Emily stopped hesitating. The ceremony was canceled before guests took their seats. There were tears, anger, refunds, and more champagne consumed by noon than planned for the whole night. Yet beneath the humiliation was a strange sense of rescue, as if the house itself had refused to stage the same lie twice. When all the guests were gone and vendors hauled flowers back through the service corridor, Nora passed the back stairs one last time. On the third step from the bottom rested a single white rose, fresh and unbruised. Despite the day's heat and traffic, she left it there. Months later, Mrs. Belden told Nora no one had reported seeing the bridesmaid since that weekend. Perhaps she suggested the woman had not wanted tragedy, remembered so much. As Pattern interrupted, Nora preferred that explanation to any grand theory of ghosts. She had seen enough of weddings to know repetition can be its own haunting. The same silence, same avoidance, same hope that a different dress changes an old lie at Ashcombe. Something had finally refused repetition. If the back stairs remained quiet after that, Nora thought it was less because a spirit had been laid to rest than because Truth had at last arrived before the music started. Wow. That is a tragedy. Apparently, this woman wanted to let the bride know what really happened in the past before she got married to her groom. Apparently, the groom must have done something. Maybe he cheated on the bride. Maybe he killed someone. Apparently, he killed the bridesmaid. No wonder why. So, do you think this might be relatable? Do you think this must have had something to do with being caught cheating in a lie with someone else, perhaps? Perhaps this bridesmaid maybe betrayed someone, or perhaps she caught someone cheating on her, and this is why she died. So, if you have any questions about the story, if this makes any sense to you all, just leave me a comment down below. And now we're going to move on to the questions, since the story is finally done. We've got 10 questions and 10 answers. I mean, we'll try and figure out what's the best answers that I can do. So I hope you're all ready for it. If this breaks your heart about any wedding ceremonies, about the bridesmaid being seen at the wedding venue or whatever, something like that, just let me know what you think. If there's any opinion about this story, just let me know what you think. Just leave me a comment down below if this breaks your heart. It breaks my heart that this bridesmaid somehow finally wanted to be noticed, and she wanted to tell the bride that something bad happened in the past. She wanted to let the bride know what the groom did in the past. So she wanted to tell the truth, even when the bridesmaid was alive, but she was killed probably for that. So anyway, let's get on with the questions. Would you have followed the bridesmaid up the back stairs?
Yes.
Yes, of course we would. My husband would. I would definitely want to investigate it. I would not ignore it. I would definitely follow the spirit, and I would definitely want to know what she wanted to tell us, what happened to her and to other people. Perhaps she wanted to tell someone the truth, but then she somehow was, I don't know, fallen down the stairs, broke her neck, and died instantly. So things happen all the time just because the groom was afraid what he would have been found out and his life would be ruined. His reputation would be ruined. So I probably would have done the same thing. I would definitely get the truth out of these people. All right, let's go to number 2. Do you think she wanted justice for herself, the bride, or both? I think she wanted both. She wanted to get justice. She wanted to get revenge. She wanted to tell the bride the truth. She wanted to save the bride's life before something bad happened to her. And she wanted to protect the bride from something, like being a victim, perhaps. Like the bridesmaid was the victim, perhaps. So I think she finally got to the bride, and she finally got what she wanted. She wanted to be remembered. She wanted justice, and she finally got the truth, and she finally got everything. She even told the bride everything. Well, Nora did, because the spirit told Nora what really happened, and she showed Nora what happened. So, good thing the wedding was canceled and the bride finally got the truth. Why do weddings make such powerful settings for ghost stories? That is a good question, you guys. Or perhaps the reason why weddings make such powerful ghost stories is probably because the bride wanted, well, the spirit of the bride wanted to tell the truth. She literally decided that she would trust the living, like Nora, to tell the truth and show her what happened decades ago, many decades ago. So she finally told the truth to Nora, and Nora finally told the truth to the bride. So the bridesmaid somehow found everything when she was alive, and then she was caught, and then the groom somehow did something. I think maybe she was murdered just because of the truth that she found out. So it's so powerful that she finally wanted justice. She wanted everyone to know, but the groom wouldn't let that happen, so he got her killed. He probably pushed her downstairs, and she lost her balance, fell down, and broke her neck. And this is how she died. So, that's so tragic, man.
Yes.
So sad.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we didn't know what the bridesmaid's name was. All right, let's go to, well, here's a question for you, babe. Why do weddings make such powerful settings for ghost stories?
Because there's a lot of people at them and they want to get people's attention.
Exactly. But this is what I would have done too. If I were a spirit, I would let people to know what really happened. So I would definitely continue investigating it. Get more truth, get the proof, get the evidence and everything. Let's go to number 4. We're almost done here. Before I sign off, we are in 32 minutes. More like 33, actually. What was more unsettling, the repeated sightings or the note hidden in the desk? Well, I think they're repeated sightings. What do you think?
Probably repeated sightings.
Spirits are trying to get the living attention and trying to get them to notice what's happening.
Yes.
This woman who died many decades ago was trying to find the bride and tell her the truth, but she was caught and killed for it. I think she was killed. She didn't do this to herself. I think someone did it to her. Just because of the truth was out. No wonder why. But yeah, I think it was the sightings, not just the notes. It's just so freaky and disgusting, creepy shit. But the sightings can be more unsettling. It's very, very spiritually, but very sad and tragic way. Oh God. Okay, guys. We've got like 5 questions left. Was the house protecting Emily or repeating old memories? I think the house was protecting Emily and repeating the memory. Like the spirit was trying to tell Emily that the wedding should be canceled and get the truth. The house was telling Emily that she should get the truth and the house was also protecting her from something bad. It wasn't the spirit that was gonna try and harm her, which the spirit wasn't. She was just trying to protect Emily from something bad would have happened to her, just like it happened to that bridesmaid in a blue dress with the white bouquet. So the house wanted her alive, but perhaps maybe if she married her husband with her fiance, she would have ended up like a victim. She would have died. Bad things would have happened. But I'm actually glad that the spirit came just in time to stop the wedding. She was trying to tell the living that something bad is going to happen to the bride. So I think she came and protected her. So anyway, let's go to number 6. Do you think the bridesmaid fall was accidental? It was not accidental. I think it was murder. Do you guys think that the bride was killed, or she accidentally fell down and broke her neck on her own? Let me know in the comments if you think the bridesmaid died by falling downstairs on her own after losing her balance and the grip of the little, I don't know what, the grip or whatever it was called. The railing, that's what it is. Same question to you. Do you think the bridesmaid fall was accidental?
Yes.
I think she was killed by someone.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was pushed downstairs and lost her footing and broke her neck after she got to the bottom part.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Oh, hello, Fearless. Thanks for coming in. How are you doing tonight, my friend? We're just doing the questions. Here's a question for you. We're on question number 6. Do you think the bridesmaid fall was accidental? Why would I push her? I wasn't there at the wedding. This is a story about the bridesmaid on the stairs, like on the back of the stairs. I would never do anything like that. This woman somehow, the spirit of the bridesmaid appeared out of nowhere to protect this bride because something bad happened to her. So she wanted to protect the bride because I think somehow the groom had something to do with the bridesmaid's murder. I think she was murdered. So let's go to number 7. Would you have canceled the ceremony once the truth came out? Yes, I think so. If I ever saw something terrible with, like, say, murder by accident, I would confront these dirtbags for what they did to the innocent people. Thank you, Fearless. Thank you so much. You're my best friend too. Yeah, I would definitely cancel the ceremony, talk to the people, get security to get all the bad guys who did something stupid shit, or the groom did something horrible to the bridesmaid. Yeah, I think the security should call the cops and arrest the groom for what he did to the bridesmaid. I think the bridesmaid was murdered by the groom many decades ago. So I think the bridesmaid finally came on time to save the bride because she would have been next. She would have been killed. So I think the bridesmaid did the right thing by saving the bride's life. And Nora did the same thing. The bridesmaid got noticed because that's what she wanted as well. So she was a good spirit, not a bad one. So anyway, let's go to number 8. We're almost done here. How is this haunting different from one based on grief alone? Fearless, Nora is part of the story. I don't know, I've never actually met Nora. I don't know who Nora is, but she's just part of this ghost story, you know. I think she was a caterer, I guess. I don't really know. Wedding planner, I guess. But I've never actually met Nora because I don't really know who she really is, but she's actually part of the story. So here's a question for you, Fearless. How is this haunting different from one based on grief alone? No, I don't really know, Fearless. I really don't know. We don't know Nora's real last name because she is not my sister. I don't even have her last name because we're not related, and no, I don't really see her because she's just part of the story. She doesn't actually exist. Okay, what do you think of this? How is this haunting different from one based on grief alone?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have any words for that. So, no, I don't think so. Chris does not have a sister named Nora. His sister's name is Katrina. He also has a cousin named Becca. And he's got a bunch of other cousins. But Nora? Do you know any person named Nora?
Nope.
He has no idea who Nora is because there is no Nora. Trust me. Nora does not exist. She's just part of the story, Fearless. And thanks for joining, my friend. No, I don't think so. I've never seen her. I don't really think so at all. So I think that haunting is like based on sadness and grief, and it's part of the emotions, like confusion and everything. So it could be anything. You're being hilarious. So anyway, well, here's a question for you again, Fearless. How is this haunting different from one based on grief alone? Okay. Thanks for sharing, my friend. Anyway, I don't have any words for this one. So let's go to number 9. We got 2 questions left before I sign off. Can stopping a repeated deception quiet a place? Of course it can. Yes, it can. I don't know. Why would I think about that? You're hilarious. Okay. Thanks for the yes. Thank you, Fearless. You're my best friend and I love you for it. Okay. Of course it can. A lot of deception can be acquired, I'd say, spiritual way. All you gotta do is think about something or whatever, but I don't have any words for that. But Thank you, Fearless. All right, we are on the last question before I sign off. It's almost 9 p.m. And once I'm done with this, Fearless, I will give you a call or text. If a ghost warned you before a life-changing mistake, would you listen? Of course, yes, I would. I would follow that ghost's advice about the wedding and everything else. Same thing for you, Chris. If a ghost warned you before a life-changing mistake, would you listen?
Yes.
We all would, yes. Okay, thank you, Fearless. I agree with you. So, all right, guys, we are out of time, and I just want to say thank you guys for listening and watching the show. And you guys are amazing. And Fearless, thank you for participating, and thanks for your honest answers. And I am about to give you a call as soon as I sign off. So anyway, I will tomorrow we'll be doing the new story. It's called The Boy Who Counted the Chairs. This is the new story. It's episode 168. So get ready for tomorrow. I will be live streaming at 8 p.m. as always until 9 p.m. It's kind of like almost an hour, but we are in 47 minutes now. So get ready. Thank you guys, and have a wonderful night. Stay safe, stay spooky, have fun. Happy Father's Day to you all, including to you, Fearless. Happy Father's Day. I hope you're have any plans for it, and spend time maybe with Kaden or whatever you're doing on the 21st of this month. So anyway, thank you guys, and we'll see you all tomorrow night. May God bless you all, and Fearless, may God bless you as well, and good luck with your homework and stuff. So I'll see you with the phone call, video calls, or texts any minute now. Please click like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for watching. Bye.